place where you can get it all trending.
Who are dropping on their vehicle and running, leaving their vehicle.
A place where you can air your views.
I want to report the situation.
Only on your number one station for talk.
This is not the way. We cannot continue like this.
95.1 Nigeria Info. Abuja. Let's talk.
This is Hard Facts. Hard Facts.
On 95.1 Nigeria Info.
Abuja, thank you so much for staying tuned into your passionate, trustworthy, and conversational radio. 95.1 Nigeria Info, 17 minutes after 3. I hope you're having a fantastic, amazing day. It's a beautiful Thursday, and someone sent me a message earlier on, Kim, are we having the debate today? I'm like, well, we would not have debaters in the studio, but we definitely will be having like a review of the quarterfinals today, and that is what we're all here to do. It's not just me. I've got the billionaire L to the Effizy. Nobody calls you that. He's right here with me, and Somi is also here in the studio. Hi, lady. Hi, gentlemen.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Kim. Good afternoon, the billionaire.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
the Oracle. Good afternoon, Somi. And good afternoon, Abuja. It's the debate for today. The debate is between three of us.
Indeed. It's
not a playoff, it's the final.
Well, we had quite an interesting quarterfinal. We came in with 10 of them for 5 different rounds of debating. And we are down to just 4 of them. It's quite interesting how we went from 10 to 4. And one would think naturally that half of 10 will be 5, but our mathematics is quite interesting on I beg to differ. Because it doesn't just add up like you think it. You know, the math can be rewarded. It's a further math.
Advanced for that.
I'm telling you.
Advanced for that is okay. But I think it's also good to also know that we prepared your mind.
Indeed.
And in the last week review to say this is what it's going to look like moving forward, especially with the scores, and also looking at the bench line for all debaters. Unfortunately, what happened, and then the judges had to do what they had to do. Also staying with the rules of the debate on scoreline and margin. Of course, we talked about 30 to 39 and a half last week review to let you know that even in all secondary school, that's still that's F9 from 41 to 49 thereabout is pass, depending on your school. In fact, some schools have also moved 50 to pass to say let's just let
what
my
school is
people
moving 50 to pass?
Yes,
a
lot of school 50 is pass.
50 is halfway to the A plus.
Okay.
50 is pass, and then 55 to 60 becomes C.
Credit,
you know, and all of that. So, I mean, we're left with 4 debaters, and then the semi-finals is looking more interesting.
Oh, yeah. I think we managed to get the top and the best 4 to be in the quarterfinals at this point in time.
Key emphasis on manage.
It was.
There was some acrobatics.
In short, plenty of it. Because, you know, and I think we learned a lot from the first season. Yes. We self-corrected a lot of things from our experience in the first season. Because how, you know, with the pairing and all of that, we ended up getting even some weak people move forward and losing good hands because we didn't think to use our white card effectively and all of that. So we try to address that this time around. And And then the grade and the scoring point, particularly for the quarterfinal, when we knew that we had more than the number that's required for the semi-final, came into effect strongly at the end of the day. So yeah, from 10, we're down to 4. But how did we get there? Well, we're going to do like a quick recap of the performance from Monday to Wednesday, and what the verdict is from the judges' green room to what the opinions are on the street, and get your feelers also, and what you expect for the finale at the end of the day. But first, let's quickly appreciate those who decide to put their money exactly where we want it. Sponsoring the second season of the debate. We can't thank them enough, really. From Hamzat Lawal, who is the CEO of Connected Development, the founder of Follow the Money, is a Malala Fund advocate champion for education, and particularly girl child education. He's been working with partners to see how they can reduce the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria. And when he heard that we're doing a debate for school children, he was really excited. No hesitation to saying, I must definitely be putting my money to it.
And also, it was his birthday yesterday. And yeah, a big shout out to him yesterday. He didn't take our call. I believe he's, I think, out of town. And that's why
I didn't even remember it was his birthday yesterday. I actually sent him the reminder to be here for the finals and all of that, and completely did not wish him a happy birthday.
It was his birthday yesterday. But again, we appreciate his support thus far. I mean, he was here for the opening.
Yeah. Yes,
and then he's been following. Even that day when he saw the diction judge, he's like, Effizy, Kim, what are you people up to? And all of that. So, yes, we thank him.
Yeah, indeed we do. And then we got the Infinity Trust Mortgage Bank to jump in. They even came in during the second week of the debate saying, we're very interested in this. We're passionate about the debate and how it's going. We think it's going to encourage intellectual conversation, and decided to, come in and support us with the second place prize money, because at that time we didn't have it. And they came on board. They have been creating wealth and shelter for over 20 years. They have their presence in Abuja, they say in Nasarawa, Taraba, and Lagos State also. And we are grateful that it came on board this, and hopeful that by next quarter we'll even do bigger things with them. Yeah. And then we have 313 Bureau de Change. At first we thought they were going to carry everything, but say, hold it. We'll do third place, all right? And we're grateful for that. Collier Angel Nigeria Limited, they do with gadgets and all IT equipment, decided to give consolation prizes to basically all of the debaters that we had on board, particularly from the round of 16.
Yes.
And it's even a good one that people who participated, even though they lost out in the first week, have something to show for it, saying, yes, we were there. Yeah. And perhaps something to inspire them to try for next season, if we do the call. Next season.
I mean, and it's also good to know that the gadget that they've been given also has radio, and it's more like keep listening to radio, Nigeria Info, and you shouldn't be found wanting that you didn't get the information quick enough, because some of those debaters will be coming back. It's just that next season would also have a different approach in terms of how we choose candidates who would be a part of the debate.
Yeah, so, live audition.
And just maybe if the PM, Kim, also agrees, you might just get an invite to come and sit in and enjoy what a live audition can be.
Indeed. Something to try out. It sounds,
welcome back.
It sounds like a big project, but we can try it out. All right, we'll tell you more about our sponsors after this very quick break.
No, we're good to go.
We're good to go?
Yes.
All right then. So Happiness Computers is also putting computers on the table. I'm afraid of mentioning number because we need to finalize that today. But yeah, they're giving consolation prizes also. And then we have Creative Bites and Cakes. They just have been supplying us with the pastries and supported from the very beginning of the debate, which we're grateful for and hope we can sustain that partnership for the future. And then 3J's Hotels and Apartments in the Federal Capital. They were a partner for the first season. And then they came back for the second season. And with the smile I saw on their face when they came around yesterday, I hope they will be around for the third season also. And the number one hotel here in Abuja decided to jump on these also. And they were really excited to be our partners for this debate, in which we're really grateful to them. So thank you to all our incredible partners. And we hope we can work with you next time and others who intend to join, because for the next season to be a lot bigger. And we're open for the national. There is happening in August, and so if you're interested in going bigger and nationwide, we are open. Our doors are wide open to have you on board.
Indeed, very big, and it is really open because you're looking at covering from Lagos to Abuja and to Port Harcourt all at once. So it's huge. You want to jump in, it's the perfect time to jump in. And then we must also appreciate some of our partners who did not make it to our books, like we didn't sign an official MOU, like the person who gave the debaters like 20,000 or how much.
Oh yeah,
So
I mean, actually, that young man was listening from London.
Yes.
He was listening from London. He said, I am thrilled, super excited. And he kept saying, you know what? 10,000 naira each was actually like Oprah. Like he felt like he wanted to start giving everybody. Like.
And then we also thank those who will jump in on the day of the finals. We know that thing always happens. That emotions you just build, and you say, you know what, I know you didn't get to be the first, you're the second, or you're the third place. I want to send you this. We thank you in advance.
I know why you're bringing this up. Because see, first place will take 1 million naira home. Second place will take 500,000 naira home. The fight for the third place will happen this time around, and it will be 250,000 naira. But the fourth person, what happens?
Will, by the special grace of God, we'll be joining the 3 persons to Lagos, and I mean that's a fantastic experience.
So the gift for the first person is you're going to Lagos, so you're going to try at the bigger prize money in Lagos. So you just polish your skills and whatever, and hope to God for the best.
And actually, just picture that the fourth place contestant from Abuja actually goes to Lagos and comes away even second or third.
It is possible. It is possible.
Somi, you are speaking my mind. So
it is possible.
Don't worry. You might not get anything from Abuja,
from
but then again, I know our listeners very well. I know what you guys can do. I'm not going to preempt you, but I know what you can do.
Maybe they can come through.
I will just leave them
and help the fourth place person.
That's why
we'll transfer money back home.
That's why I'm even telling them thank you, because they know how to just rally around themselves and just come up with something. The way Usang and those guys came up with
Abuja people, the billionaire is saying we should not let fourth person go home.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't want to put words into your be suggestive, but I know you guys, and I'm thanking you on behalf of
in advance.
That's all. But don't bring chin for this.
So we had incredible judges also, from Majid to Irene to the diction judge, who we also brought on board, aside from Fidel Castro, who is our in-house judge. He's an editor here. We for the first time brought a diction judge, and we had to, because we want our guys ready for Lagos.
Yes.
And diction in Lagos is going to be 10 marks.
A whooping sum of 10 marks. And there's also increase in the time, speech time.
Yeah.
From 3 minutes in Lagos, I think it's going to be 4 minutes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, for the nationals, and the rules are set for the nationals. Unfortunately, we can't tamper with any of them.
Yeah.
Because it cuts across all regions, from Lagos to Port Harcourt to Abuja. So yes, we'll also make sure that our team, our guys are ready for that. They extend their practice time and all of that.
They extend their points, their ability to come up with points. Because I think that was a thing that we didn't really see a lot of in the quarterfinals. Find out they ran out of steam at some point.
I think from some particular debaters, though.
Well, of course, not all of them.
Yeah,
but
almost like, it's 3 minutes, it's 30 minutes. Thank you.
But I think if you look at the of course we're going to play some of the highlights, but when you look at the scores, it will reflect that there was a little something that that was lacking sort of in the quarterfinals compared to other rounds where we had lots of 50s and all. So
I was thinking, is fatigue setting in? Could it be?
That's another one.
I mean, on short period of time where you have to, and these topics are not like daddy is better than mommy. Yeah, it's something that you have to do intense research. I am thrilled by the amount of work these younglings put into it. Like, you'd be like, whoa. There was one particular time I went home after that. I can't remember which of the debate, and I googled like, "Oh my goodness, it's true."
Yeah.
Yes.
And I thought
Your
the debate was
on the spot.
I thought
and
it
it's
was
correct.
making it up.
I mean, we were fact checking in Lagos for the last nationals, so we brought that same energy back home.
Here.
So a lot of times when they are speaking, we're quickly trying to check: is this accurate? Can somebody run with this, or is just how you feel about it? But I mean, lots of time we see that they are accurate. Yeah. They are quoting, and they are not far behind. They are not quoting something in 1991. Yeah. They are quoting as far back as 2024, 2023. Some are the way it's happening. They are quoting and all of that. So, yes, thumbs up to them. But just like Somi said, I mean, we want to see that you have so much points that you feel bad that you couldn't say all of them. And then rebuttal also should not be.
I think a good number of them have the rebuttal part. Perhaps maybe the opponent is speaking so fast and he didn't quite get all of the point. But I think if you can get a hold of 3 of it and rebut properly and intelligently, it can work. But I see a lot of them with the rebuttal aspect of it. They start to stutter on like, oh, okay, how do I counter this and not shoot myself in the foot at the end of the day? And then,
but coming back to the issue of fatigue, sorry, Kim, real quick. I mean, if we're looking at preparation time between the debate that they've had and the one they're going to have, what is adequate enough? I mean, Effizy, you came from the national, so do they usually have like 3-4 days in between? Isn't it the same? Maybe 2-3 days.
So that's the thing. I think Lagos is even more crazy and intense than even the regionals. Regionals, there's a lot of things that happen, when they come and all of. Lagos is not like that. I mean, you literally see that stress is walking into the studio to defend its point at that time, because you have in Lagos, we had debaters who are coming as far as Odojubega to come and debate in their school uniform. There are sometimes their parents have to catch up with them there to go home, and all of that. So fatigue, but then again, it's a whooping sum of 1 million naira we're talking about. No matter how bad you think the Nigerian economy is, 1 million for a secondary school student should be able to carry you past 3 levels of classes.
Yeah.
In terms of school fees, if you do per term or you do per year. So, I mean, that's something to put your energy and fight for to get. So, competitions never come easy.
Oh, yeah.
They never come easy.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
It's just like interviews. They never come easy.
It just felt like when I went home and a friend called, they're like, boy, how do you guys do it? You look 2 people in the eyes and tell them you're eliminated from the competition, or you look one of them and sorry, this is the end of the road. I wouldn't be able to do something. And like the minute they started coaching them, they knew it was a tournament, it was a competition. There's a prize money, and we didn't say everyone who sent in their entry is going to make 1 million, one person. So you already know it's going to be
you,
exactly.
It could be the next person. It could be. I mean, we witnessed a debate in the round of 16 or 30. Was it 16? Somi, when it was Piakasa, 2 of them faced themselves.
Yeah.
And one person who we thought is a stronger person was just debating like, my schoolmates, we cannot come and kill each other. But then when he got to the other person,
vengeance.
It's not like, you know what?
Veins popping,
it's about to go down. So it's a competition, and that's the spirit of competition, the energy, the fire that comes with it, the rivalry that comes with it, and at the end of the day, the handshake that also comes with it.
Oh yes. And then there's also something to point, just before we listen to a playback of some of them, is their style. Style takes a chunk of the score.
Yes, it does.
And, sometimes you watch some of the debaters and it just feels like, okay, this is the point. I have crammed this one. I understand it to this level. Let me listen enough to the rebuttal. And then you just do not see something that appeals to you extra, because it's about your charisma, what you exude, how you captivate the audience, someone who's listening. And you need to carry from your voice as much as the presence, because there's a camera on you and people are watching online. So I hope that they will be able to bring that to the finals also. People always remember Excel for style also. He, as much as he was brilliant with his topic and well researched, there was just something about him. Like, who is this small boy?
Style.
He had that appeal to him. So style takes 10 marks.
Per
10
judge.
Per judge. The presentation, 3 marks per judge here in Abuja.
Yes.
Rebuttal, 3 marks per
Per
judge.
judge.
Closing, 3 marks per judge. Style, meaning how you present it, how you articulate your point, how concise you are, your diction, your grammar, your choice of words, all of these and more. See,
I think in this what do you call it now, second season of, a lot of them mistook style for how
For
loud
jabs.
your voice can be,
Yeah.
and jabs, the kind of jabs you can throw at your opponents. I was hearing things sometimes and my heart would literally skip. I'm like, wait, what? Why? Right? So I think perhaps they witnessed a little bit of what happened with Excel, and then they decided to take it up like 5 notches and then increase their voices and then, through, because
fast.
Excel will drop some subtle
No, we
things at
expect
you
that.
were not necessarily like offensive
Yeah.
or trying to go for your jugular. But you must, if you feel you think, even me, listening, behind, I'll be like, wait, that's true. It's possible that what he said is true. Very nicely put. So
Yeah.
I think that was the problem.
So whatever you do, make sure it's nicely put. It doesn't come off like an insult.
Yes.
Or trying to belittle the opponent. That's very, very critical and important for us. And you know what? Lagos is saying the reason they're going to give 4 minutes is to allow, so that they don't speak too fast, like so that the judges don't have issues with picking out their point. They had a case where some people were like, they can barely make out their point. So perhaps you just pace yourself. Not too slow, because it's not like a calm gist, all of that. It's a debate. It's a tournament.
It's not spoken word.
It's not spoken word,
They're
yeah.
trying. He's lying. It's fine.
So all of that, I think we would need to, for those who scale through, definitely all those who are getting to the semis are going to represent us in Lagos. All 4 of them will be there. So it will be important for us to do that kind of prepping and training for them to know what to expect for the national.
Yeah.
Because
Very important.
certain things will change, but we did our best in trying to get them a diction judge and just prep them for what to expect. But we have 1 million naira on the table, half a million, a quarter of a million. But yeah, so we have 4 who scale through. But just before we talk about these 4, let's go back and listen to the performance of the 10 we had in the quarterfinals. I hope I still have it open. What's the first day one?
We had, what do you want, the topic?
Yes.
Sexual harassment is not taken seriously in Nigerian society.
All right. So that was between...
Anthony Oluwadamilola Favor and Deborah Malachi.
Okay. And who won?
We had Anthony Oluwadamilola Favor with 44.5.
44.5,
Yes.
Anthony Oluwadamilola. Well, let's listen to some of the argument they put. Did she beg to differ?
No, she... not sure.
Okay, let's just start with her.
Moving on to my next point. Secrets are now known. The secret of these so-called abusers are now known because as of 2019, the Nigerian has created a sex offender record. We are the first who created this in the whole of West Africa. Noting this fact, we are now taking our sexual abuse more seriously than ever. Now, moving on to over 570 sexual abuse offenders has gone over to report and make known their documents. The whole case and the whole episode is now being known, tracked, filed, documented, and even prosecuted due to the fact that Nigeria now pays more attention. Now, in a country where shame is being a killer, we bring these so-called abusers onto the limelight. For my 4th point, nobody is now untouchable. from the pastors to the politicians. Do you remember the case of that big pastor of Koza, or the politician, or the case of the girl that assaulted her lecturer? We all know this now. Nobody is now untouchable. Nobody has the right to hide behind his status, or the right to hide behind whatever position they now hold. In Nigeria, we are taking this more seriously. Now, the people are not afraid. Remember those times where their first question was, what were you wearing? Where were you last night? What were you doing? Nigeria doesn't do that again. Rather, we perform, we give support and conventional purposes onto these survivors. Take, for instance, the hashtag Arawami to you, or the justice for me and you, or the justice for Uwa, or the...
All right, Damilola there, citing an example, making her point with plenty gesticulation. And she had this whole thing with, I just watch her and it just feels like she has to go from left to right, pointing her hands like a gun. There, face off with Deborah Malachi, who was a good opponent also, quite intense. Yeah. And it was an enjoying session to listen to the both of them. But hey, it is what it is.
And also fact checked. What she also mentioned is totally correct. When she talked about Nigerians opening a sex offender register with NAPTIP, that was actually the first of its kind in Africa in 2019. Is it 2019? Yes, 2019. So that's correct.
Indeed. Okay, opponent is out, so let's move on to the next debate. The same day we had...
Control of illegal mining is difficult in Nigeria. That was between Chikwere Masi Ruth and Chikeze Onyechukwu Paula.
All right. And Chikwere, we had to bring her back. She was a wild card, wasn't she?
From the round of 32.
Yeah. And was it 32?
Yes.
32.
She was from 32.
Okay. Was it not 16?
No, from 32.
32.
Chikwere Masi Ruth.
Yes.
She scaled through 32.
Yes.
Went to 16.
Oh, 16.
Lost
16.
out in 16. When she faced off with that boy, Majesty.
Wildcard.
But her point was so good. It was such an intense, they were the best set of debater for that particular session.
True.
Honestly.
True.
And she was the only wild card pick were introduced back. From the round of 16. And she managed to win this round. Facing who?
Chikeze Onyechukwu Paula.
All right, Paula. Well, let's listen to her a bit. Okay.
Now. In the words of Kayode Fayemi, former governor of Ekiti State, the country...
Oh dear. Sorry about that. We'll try and make it work better.
Well, Chikwere Masi Ruth is the last student standing from Government Science Secondary School to
Nigeria. All right, you hear the bell? Start when you hear the bell to end. Wrap up and finish the thought you're sharing.
Okay, we're still...
Illegal mining is difficult in Nigeria due to the effect of corruption, lack of effective legislation, and poverty. Good afternoon, the chairman, panel of judges, timekeeper, co-debater, listeners, and viewers all over the globe. My name is Chikwere Masi Ruth, a student of Government Science Secondary School Tungamaji. Today, we are discussing a topic that has sparked intense debate among individuals, educators, policymakers, and the general public. Today, I'm going to be proposing the motion that states the control of illegal mining is a difficult task in Nigeria. And yes, I do agree with that. Illegal mining refers to the extraction of minerals and other geological materials without the required permits, licenses, or the rest. Firstly, corruption is endemic in Nigerian system. Yes, I do believe corruption is endemic in Nigerian system. Do you know that even though law exists, small officials still make their way out to receive bribes from corrupt officials? Of course, yes. For example, in 2022, the Economic and Financial Crime Commission arrested over 50 officials because of what? Because they accepted bribes from illegal miners in Zamfara State. And after they accepted this bribe and after the arrest, nothing was done about it. If the enforcers are the problem, then how do you expect us to trust the system? That's a fallacy. More so, Nigeria's geography make policy nearly impossible. Look at the Nigerian geography. Illegal mining happens in places like the forest, desert, and mountains. In the places like the dense Niger Delta or the rocky hills of Jos. It's in these places that you expect us to use devices like satellite and drones. That's not going to work in a country like ours.
All right. I'm telling you, no go walk. All right, Masiri Ruth, the wild card we introduced for the quarterfinal, managed to make her way through to the semi-final with a 39.5. When we're even looking at it and trying to do the elimination process with all that debate, the score started getting lower. I think she was the one with the lowest score among the top 4 that we have.
Yes.
Others were 46, 44.5,
yes.
and then 39. But the last man standing for Government Science Secondary School, Tunga Maje. So I hope there'll be a lot of pressure on her. Like you have to. Yeah.
Getting worse.
Indeed. All right then. So for day 2.
Yes. Day 2, we had Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe and Abu Francis Helen Ebogo head-to-head on the motion, introduce the death penalty for producers and importers of fake drugs. Effizy, you're laughing already.
No, because, that day, during their debates, from the camera, I also saw that Kim was holding firm, but Itodo was a little scared to say.
He sent me a note like I was worried for 1 minute.
Itodo was wondering, what happened to him? Is it motion sickness? No, not even. What happened? Is this fright? What's going on? But the guy looks like he had his drama well put together and also had his time on check. Because at some point, Itodo was like, what time are you working with? It looks like you're looking at the clock while doing your debate. But let's take a listen.
Indeed. And the interesting thing is that he lost out to
Abu Francis
Helen. But somehow he was the best loser. And his point was way above
even the winners.
The winners and the ones we had to eliminate, because we eliminated some because their points were so weak, weaker than, the one who lost out, the people who lost out. So we had to take the best of the losers whose points were stronger than even some of the winners as our white card. So Joseph Achechebe Majesty is our white card for the semi-finals. And I think this is the last time we're using the white card. From the semi-finals, you're on your own, no help. If you're out, you're out. Yeah. So, but let's get to hear his argument.
Imagine this. A mother rushes her previous child to the pharmacy, buys drugs with her last savings, sprays it, works, and instead of healing, her child gasps for breath and dies. Why? Because the medicine was fake. This display I made earlier was just a surface expression of what the mother of this child would have felt. Good afternoon, moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debater, and the audience. My name is Joseph Majesty Ojochegbe from Government Day Secondary School, Karo. I am here to propose the motion that says death penalty should be introduced for producers and importers of fake drugs. The Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, said the call to exterminate producers of fake drugs has become imperative because in Nigeria, many people are dying on a daily basis due to the consumption of fake drugs. Production of fake drugs is the same as premeditated murder. My co-debater, would you call it business when someone knowingly sells poison labeled as medicine? That's outrageous. It's murder in disguise, and murder in many countries is punishable by death. Some will say, but why not life imprisonment? Let's be real. A fraudster with billions can bribe his way out of jail, but can he bribe his way out of the grave? Exactly. Countries like Indonesia that have adopted this means see far fewer drug-related crimes. A severe crime demands a severe punishment. Furthermore, despite existing laws, Nigeria remains one of the biggest marketplaces for counterfeit drugs. Do you know why? Because our penalties are laughable. NAFDAC recently released a report that over 70% of drugs in circulation consisted of fake drugs, all because of drug barons that can bribe their way out of prison.
All right, Joseph Majesty there.
I'm just wondering if our penalties are laughable. Really.
Well, maybe not so, but it feels to him like, guys, you can do better. All right, then. So I guess the lawmakers would not agree that it's laughable. NAFDAC would like, yeah, but people go to jail for a long time. But for him, the fact that it's not the gallows and off with their head or the electric chair sounds laughable to him.
maybe NDLEA will be like half in half in that, to say, oh yeah, maybe that's why we have a lot of them every now and then at the international airport trying to fly with these drugs or trying to get into the country.
No, it's not even talking hard drug. We're talking about fake drugs where people buy medicine. Dora Akunyele put her life on the line for things like this to end.
In fact, the new NAFDAC DG is beginning to talk about threats that she's been getting.
Yeah, I mean, she's been going to Anambra. There was some warehouse where they found that it wasn't really fake drug, but the storage ruined those drugs. But they're still going to sell them because it's business. They're like, we didn't store these medicines properly, but we bought them with millions of dollars or billions of naira, and we can't lose our money. So you get people who have zero conscience and put those things back in the market, and then you're taking medicine you're not getting well, and the medicines are not cheap.
And there's a word for it now. It's, the malaria is prevalent.
Resistant to the drugs. And
you have to take both injection and medicine at the same time so that
remember the height of it where you'll be taking malaria medicine and you're not getting better. Just recover for a couple of days and bam, it comes back bigger and harder.
In fact, some people some people are doctors of malaria. They just find out from you, which medicine did you take? You say X, Y, you say, no, that one doesn't work again. Take ABC. ABC, if you take that one, it works.
Indeed. Well, he faced with Helen Abu, who came with so much fire, I did not see it coming. Because it just felt like the minute she got into the studio, she decided, I must scale through this round. And she gave it 100 at the end of the day. So let's hear her out.
Breed more death. Dead bodies won't bring back or fix broken systems, rather will lead to broken societies. With this, I bid a good morning to the esteemed panel of judges, my moderator, my co-debater, my worthy and efficient timekeeper. I am Abu Helen from Government Science Secondary School Metama, here to stand my ground against the motion we stage due to the death penalty for producers and importers of fake drugs. To begin with, although some might argue that death penalties are the most effective deterrents of death of fake drugs, facts say otherwise, as countries like Iran, Singapore and China, despite their death penalties, still face severe drug trafficking issues. Yes, furthermore, under Dora Akunyele, NAFDAC reduced fake drug prevalence from 70% to 50% under a span of 19 years, but not through death penalties, but through regulation, education, awareness and law enforcement, relating the effectiveness of systemic reforms. Most importantly, the UN General Assembly has reiterated its opposition toward death penalty as a violation of a human being's right to life. And Nigeria, as its member, if it chooses to introduce the death penalty, stands to receive international condemnation and disregard, as it's clearly seen in the cases of Iraq, China, and Saudi Arabia. My dear opponents, do you realize?
All right, there you have it. So the two of them were fire. And I hope they will not be facing each other for the next semi.
I mean, if INEC says one of the criteria to get into political office or elected office is that you must always do a debate, a national debate, I bet you some politicians will have their mentors in these children. But since it's not like that, so we might as well just pass and leave them to be the leaders of tomorrow that we have always been promised. But then again, there is a movie by James Bond, Tomorrow Never Comes.
Oh, dear God. Well, we had other set of debaters, but even though we at one point saw that they are... Okay, what's this one?
No, don't mind them.
Okay. The points were not up to what we expected. The both of them had to go, but let's listen to them a bit. We had...
Christine with Khalid.
Okay.
Nigeria should improve existing universities, not create new ones.
Okay. And that one is actually Nigerian cashless policy.
Oh, yeah. So that was the last one from yesterday. Between Peter Favor-Ofedo and Benjamin Jubilee.
Nigeria should improve
existing universities, not create new ones.
All right.
By the way, there is also an approval for a new polytechnic in Abuja. So maybe they were not listening to the debate.
Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debater, ladies and gentlemen listening in. I am Omale Christine from the prestigious Government Science Secondary School Maitama, here to propose the motion which states that Nigeria should focus on improving its existing universities rather than creating new ones. Here are my points to give credence to the discourse. First of all, on the funding. Do you know that Nigeria allocates only 5.3% of its national budget to education, far below the UNESCO's 15% threshold? UNILAG and ABU
lack functional labs, forcing them to share microscopes from the 1980s. Is this really the educational sector we want? Moving on, unemployment. 23.2% of our Nigerian graduates are unemployed. And why is that? Tech firms like Flutterwave and Andela reject 80% of Nigerian graduates' applications due to poor skills. And why are they poor skills? Because Nigeria do not invest heavily in their education. And you talk about creating...
Now, her opening was brilliant. Some would ask, so why was she eliminated? Because it sounds like a powerful opening presentation.
And this one is a call to the coaches and the mentors and the parents of these children. Sometimes you need to be very sure that you have an excellent understanding of a topic at hand. Because it's a case, in some instances, is that they have some understanding, but they don't have a full grasp of it. And so they end up making solid points that have nothing to do with whether they're proposing or opposing the motion. That's on the one hand. In some instances, it's in fact, it's just, that's what it comes down to, basically. Because when you look at the total points tallied, you will see that nobody was able to get to 50. Again, you can chalk it up to the fatigue, the timing, but the key thing there is an improper or not complete understanding of the topic.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if you were able to hit a great opening and you're able to rebut, and sometimes if you don't understand the topic, even when your opponent has given you points, you don't understand it, so you cannot rebut properly. So a lot of them were hinging on maybe 1 or 2 points from their minimal understanding, and so it affected them. So if you have a full grasp, you should be in the 50s, whether you like it or not.
Well, she also said she wasn't feeling the very best of health. She was coughing and all of that. So perhaps that also affected her performance. She faced off with Khalid. Khalid emerged the winner for her set by half a mark, actually. But the scoreline was still very poor.
Too low.
Enough universities to meet the demands of our growing population. According to recent statistics, over 1.7 million candidates sit for the UTME annually, yet fewer than 600,000 gain admission. This is not because they are unqualified, but because there simply aren't enough spaces. By building new universities, Nigeria can bridge this gap and ensure that more youth have access to quality education. Moreover, improving existing universities will not solve the problem of accessibility. You and I know that the bulk of Nigerian universities are concentrated in the urban areas, leaving the rural areas and the regional sites underserved. By building new universities, Nigeria can provide access to quality, can help provide the citizens with access to quality education for those in the rural areas. A perfect example of this is the newly established Federal University of Medical and Health Sciences in Orogu, Delta State, which has brought higher education down to the regional level. Come to think of this, must a student from Borno or Bayelsa State travel hundreds of kilometers just to get a degree? No. By building new universities, Nigeria can decentralize education, making it accessible for everyone. This perfectly proves that improving existing universities will not solve the problem of accessibility the way creating new universities will do it.
So both their opening felt like they knew and got a good grasp of it. But when we got to the rebuttal, we saw quite a number of stumbling and just couldn't help each. Let's hear Christine's rebuttal.
They've traveled abroad. They do not come to these universities. If you check most of the universities in Nigeria, there are still empty seats. Why? Because there is no quality. And how you show that building a new university will bring quality? How you show that Nigeria investing into those new universities will bring the academic excellence that we need in our country? You talk about improving accessibility, but let me tell you, Nigeria doesn't even have the fund to build universities. Our educational fund is 5.3%. So where do you want to build universities? I prefer you rather enhance the standards in the existing universities.
Well, let's listen to Khalid.
We don't necessarily need the government support to build universities. That is where we need, and we need the help of our private rich men. Nigeria has a growing population of rich men. They can step up to build new universities that will enhance our economy. We have people like Aliko Dangote, Abdul Samad Rabiu of the Bua Group. We have people like Obi Kubana. They are doing well. If they step up into education, I think Nigeria's educational sector will improve very well. And also you talk about you talked about my argument in which I said we need specialized institutions. That's why I use the term specialized. We need institutions which are tailored.
All right, well, quite there were rebuttal arguments were weak. And the closing got even weaker in terms of the points they put forward and how they defended it. And I think the high score was about 35.
35, yes.
And 34 and a half.
That's when we went into the playoffs.
We had the very first playoffs with them. And hoping that we're going to be thrilled, either with style or something else, something that X factor to separate them. But it just was not the day for it.
It was a case of I've given you my best, and now you want me to give you what again? I might as well just give you the same best I gave you earlier. So maybe you'd hear it differently. But then when he went on to even call the names he called, like Dangote, I was just wondering, will Dangote want to go into education? Whereas we speak right now, crude is supposed to be sold to him at for dollar, not even in naira. So again, leave we the rich people out of education, please.
I'm sorry, who?
Those are my boys.
I hear you. I hear you.
The group he called, the Dangotes, all those. I mean,
your boys, you say?
Yes, my boys. Wow. Even Adenuga, Femi, all those boys. I helped them. If they ask them, if you see them,
help us give the fourth place person money now.
No, it would look like pride.
Yeah. Let's get back to the set of debaters. So for that said, we had to eliminate even the winner on the spot because his score point was already lower than all the previous people who had lost out in the debate. And we mentioned that the quarterfinals were going to be strong on point base because we had more number of people for that quarterfinal, and we need to have only 4 get to the semi-final. So the rules had to be stricter, and you just had to be the very best to scale through to that. So even though Khalid by half beat his opponent, and we had a playoff, it still was not enough to get them to the semi-finals. And the same applied to the next set of debaters. Nigeria's cashless policy improved the financial system. The point got even lower. Right? They got to 29.
29. That's what Benjamin finished off the competition with, while Peter Favor Ofedo finished off with 32.5.
32.5. So let's listen to the guy. What's his name again?
Benjamin
Dubili.
Benjamin.
The luxury, the people who uses the cashless policy more. They
1 million was escaping him as he was losing his point.
No.
People live in rural areas where their only POS had no cash. Cashless policy isn't inclusive. It's for the luxury people. It's for luxury. Also, the cashless policy has been riddled with glitches and scams. We've heard the horrible stories. Transfer fails, accounts frozen, and money hanged. And money hanged and life savings wiped out by hackers. Fraudsters thrive in this chaos. They use this as an avenue of hacking people's accounts, of getting money from people. And there have been causes of losses of money into fake bank alerts. If cashless means cashless, for the honest Nigerians, how is this progress?
You know, I thought he was trying to make a brilliant point. If cashless means cashless for the honest Nigerian, how is it progress? But the joke fell flat because he struggled with his point at that particular point in time. And I felt at one point that it was the topic that was above their head. Nigeria's cashless policy improved the financial system.
I beg to differ, honestly. Because, I mean, it's a daily thing. The struggles is seen everywhere. It's normal. I mean, we know what it is. It's, in fact, right now, Kim, it's almost like CBN is encouraging people to use POS than even using the bank ATMs. As I speak to you, if you go to withdraw 1,000 or 5,000 naira, 106 or 7 naira will be deducted from your account. So it's. Yeah. I don't think it was above there.
So he had, for someone who was opposing the motion, he could have done it justice because he was opposing that it has actually improved the financial.
I mean, he had the advantage to even appeal to the emotions and sentiment of people with that. Christine had a tough job of supporting that indeed it improved the financial system. That's her name, right?
Yes.
Christine.
No, sorry. Peter Favor Ofedo.
Peter Favor Ofedo. Oh, Peter Ofedo was the one who was sick yesterday, not Christine. I beg your pardon. Christine. Not the previous set. Peter Favor Ofedo was sick. Yeah. Oh. I mean, she was struggling with a cold, sore throat, and all of that. She literally was struggling in the studio, and so it stole her thunder at that point.
argument from a 1990s economics textbook. Now, Benjamin, you barely mentioned 4 points, but I'm going to work with what you have. Work with what you gave me. So now I'm going to dismantle your misguided illusions one by one. Now, Benjamin mentioned that technical glitches is involved in cashless policy. But let me tell you, Nigeria has started curtailing technical glitches by even bringing offline modes in fintechs like Pampers. Furthermore, Jubilee also mentioned that cashless policy improves cybercrime. But let me tell you, it is even while using cash that corruption and cybercrime comes into place. We see examples like politicians laundering money. Even in our election processes, cash laundering comes into place more. I'm sure Abacha's spirit must be sweating by now.
Okay. She was the one that said that, right? I was just wondering. Okay.
I was so looking forward to the dismantling, only to be let down just a little bit.
She could not dismantle nothing. Nothing was dismantled in that debate.
It wasn't based on.
But I will dismantle your point. Okay, dismantle.
And she says I will work with 4. This is your 4 points.
She said you barely mentioned 4 points.
But I would let me grace your 4.
You know when she said it, I turned like dismantle girl.
It's about to go down.
So again,
she huffed and she puffed, but nothing came down.
Thing about the focus on throwing jabs as opposed to making points.
I think it came in the way.
It was way too
much. No, I mean, you need to be smart about the usage of it. Just once there, you know.
And by all means, if you want to dismantle, let us all be shaking in our boots by the time you're done.
Yeah, and then that jab thing, it's not good for rebuttal. You want to do it when you have the opportunity to speak after the first person has spoken. So you give them like a cold feet during rebuttal. No, but the guys, you are going to rebut what he has said. There's no point for.
No, perhaps that would even be the best time to bring any jabs in. It's not your presentation.
If you are going to marshal out the point and dismantle it,
that you cannot now dismantle it,
and you throw jab.
You go, I fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee, and they punch you out. Or you try to throw a punch and you twirl and fall down. You do not even get the person. So that's what happened. Well, sadly, neither of them impressed enough, not with their presentation or the style to scale through. I personally thought it was the topic that was above their head, but the billionaire begs to differ on that. So they had to be eliminated after their performance. So we have our top 4, and it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. We'd have one set on Monday.
Yes, another on Tuesday.
And the finale
on Friday
will be on Friday. We're giving them Wednesday and Thursday to prepare. So we're going to have the third place. The 2 losers would face off for third place, and it will be on Friday. We'll start with that. And then the grand prize debate will happen. But here's something new we're introducing, and to prepare them for Lagos. They would have to do a presentation.
After their debate.
After their debate.
After the finale debate.
After the finale debate, before the results coming, they would do a presentation. We'll send them a presentation topic after the semis. And so after the debate, we'll give them, is it 3 minutes or 4 minutes each?
4 minutes.
To just add something extra. Icing on the cake.
That would be
with their presentation. It's not going to be a debate. Let's hear you speak on this. Let's hear your vision
I hope it will not be the flying trines of lines.
Whatever style they try to bring on, I hope it works for them.
Because it's a presentation, so you need to deliver with grace and aplomb.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So if spoken word is your thing.
If spoken word, go ahead. Whatever works for you.
If rap is your thing, you can take lessons from the billionaire.
You would like it.
So that's what's going to happen. So brace yourself. The finale is for Friday. We'll have the third place slug it out from the 2 losers from Monday, Tuesday, and then the grand prize. And after that, we'll have a debate. Hopefully, we'll have all our sponsors on ground because their checks will be presented to them on that day. We'll have all our partners on ground. We'll have our media friends on ground to cover cover because it's a big one. And we just let them know officially that they'll be representing the federal capital, not their schools now, the FCT at the National in Lagos, which will happen sometime in August.
And then if you work with the Ministry of Education, you're close to the Honorable Minister, you are an aide to the Honorable Minister, it would be nice for you to chip into the Honorable Minister that something like this is going on in the FCT. So if he wants to stop by, this is an open invitation to the Honorable Minister.
Indeed.
I mean, he was the first person to give his briefing at the ministerial brief today, and putting up all the figures and all of that. So this is an open invitation to you, Honorable Minister Alausa, that we're open to have you and your team on Friday next week for the I Beg to Differ final debate. It will be good for you to be here. And by the way, if you also look through it carefully, and this is me talking to the Honorable Minister, to see the amount of public schools that have put into this debate and see where they are in the debate. And just to also let you know, just maybe last year you were not on that seat before you came on board, that Excel is also from a public school who won the 1 million and got a chance in Lagos also. So maybe it's also time for you to use that to look inwards to a lot of public schools, to federal schools where a lot of people are complaining about the dilapidating infrastructure across the country, government schools, not just even in Abuja, but also maybe in Lagos and other states, to look at the quality of educations that are coming out from there, not just the teaching, but the infrastructure. Does it build the students ready for the 21st century?
Indeed.
I so submit.
In fact, to better put it in perspective, of our 4 semi-finalists, who are the people going to represent us in Lagos, actually, they're all from government schools. We have 3 schools represented, Piakasa with 2 students going into the semi-finals. We also have Government Science Secondary School, Tungamaji, represented, and Government Day Secondary School, Karu. So all 4 of them are government.
It's quite interesting that
students.
all our products are from government school for the second round.
Yes,
The first round we had some private school.
Yeah.
But in Port Harcourt, they're all private.
They're all
You know, I
private.
heard 1 or 2 accents. I felt like, are they teaching them with this one? But maybe by accent too. We'll double slam when we get there.
No.
I was teasing the program manager in Port Harcourt and like, oh boy, we're going to tackle you guys today. I'm like, now fight. Now fight. And at that time, we were still struggling with the quality of the debate we were getting. I was already bragging. Like, at the end, I'm like, Kim, shut your big mouth and hope to God that your people present the FCT well.
But I think we spoke to the participation from private schools or last week during the review as well. This is another call to private schools. They need to show up, I think, as much as possible for competitions like this. Because, yes, the money is for the students, but it's major bragging rights for the school.
For the schools.
I think,
We had a handful of the private schools, but they came in trickles. One from this school, one. I think what worked to the advantage of these schools is that, aside from the day school, Karu, he was the only person from his school.
Yes.
Tungamaji had the second highest entry.
Tungamaji had 9 entries.
Piakasa had the most.
Piakasa had 9 entries as well.
Yeah, so it worked to the advantage.
9 or 10?
9. Oh, yeah, 10. 10 actually.
So it worked to the advantage.
So-
Other schools, private school, you see maybe 1 land school,
3.
1, 2. So at the end of the day, by the time you eliminate and they're not really strong, it now feels like they have no presence there. I think the number of entries for these schools work to the advantage also.
Again, Kim, I mean, some of these private owners, even the government owners, the truth is that when you don't have like a business development person or a marketing person, it's hard for you to know how some of these things connect. I mean, private school owners, I expect you to do more because this is, just like Somi said, serious bragging rights for your school. It just puts your school out there in the face of everybody globally to say, my school has a representative on this global debate, regionals or nationals. I mean, every time when we went to Lagos, every time Excel got to debate and say that he's from government secondary school Piakasa, everybody wanted to know where exactly is this Piakasa? What's the name? Why was the name called Piakasa? But the most interesting part is that it is a government secondary school. And that's not to push away private. You're doing great, but you should show up. Show up and use this as a springboard for your marketing. Oh, our school, we usually go for debate like this. It's a thing. When we were in school, I mean, even as federal school, when you go to another federal school, it's almost like we went there, we defeated them, and we came back. So if you are thinking of enrolling your child in any federal government school, it should be our school, because when we go out for competitions, we win.
You know, dismantle. Indeed, dismantle, really. All right, let's open up the phone lines. Just quickly get some feedback from you. We've talked a lot. We've played back some of the debate, and would love to get your input, your thought, what your expectation for the quarter finals that we went through, and for the semi and the final that is coming up next week. What are you looking out for? Just share your thoughts with us about the debate so far.
We have a comment here on WhatsApp. Jay says, Kim and the team, you can actually send the Honorable Minister a formal letter of invitation. You guys are media. Surely your management can reach him. He will definitely show up and send a representative. And private schools in Abuja, money is not their major problem. Neither do they know that the publicity will be good for them. Jay.
All right.
To say via WhatsApp.
Let's have a telephone 0700 951 0000 or 0809 5974869, or just call via WhatsApp on 0809 9930 137. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Kurora.
You're welcome.
The billionaire, I greet you.
I greet you, sir.
And it's me, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I greet all the sponsors, the organizer. Dr. Vijay, I greet you. You people are great. I'm Donatus calling from Niger State. I think it's a wake-up call to the AMAC chairman, to and the rest of them, even before the Minister of Abuja and the Minister of Education. I think they should come and see what the children are doing. Support them. You understand? By now, I believe at least they could have come and say, these children, you people are doing wonderful. You understand? They could have increased the price by now so that they will motivate these children.
Did you say AMAC chairman?
And the rest of them, yes. AMAC chairman,
Area Council.
Yes, they should call us, they should come. They are
right.
all their children. You understand? And support these children.
All right.
These children are going to defend them in one way or the other, so that the children will also tell them their feelings and what they are seeing in their schools. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much. Let's hear this caller.
Good afternoon, Kim. Good afternoon, Kim. Hello.
Good afternoon.
This is David Stephen calling from Airport Road.
Go ahead, David.
Truly, I'm really impressed with the organizers of this debate competition. More grace to you. More of that. We want to continue hearing this, because truly, for the past 2 weeks, I've been listening to this program. I'm impressed. And I want to really appreciate the teachers who took their time to prepare the students towards this debate. More grace to them. And to my alma mater, GSS, Government Science Secondary School, Tomaje, it was a honor, very proud to me to hear students from the school I attend and graduate from were able to give their best. It is a thing of honor and proud to me.
Great.
I say kudos to every teacher in Government Science Tungamaji that have put in effort to present the name of this school to the global world. Wherever, if they are hearing me, my prayer to them, they have done well. I, by the grace of God, I'm also a teacher by profession right now because of the effort they have put through. And today, I'm proud to be a product of Government Science Secondary School Tungamaji.
Good to know.
Please, to FCT ministers and the education minister, please, this is a wake-up call. It shows that there are still hope for our secondary school, our government secondary school. In as much as there are migration to private school, from public school to private school, because we are thinking that the private government school are dilapidated and there is no hope. If you listen to these children, you will know that there is hope, and there is hope for government schools. More can be done and more funds can be put into this school. We will go global. There is hope for government schools. Thank you very much. I'm really happy for this. Kim, God bless you and God bless Nigerian Info.
God bless you too. Thank you very much. And it's a product of that school. Really proud of them. They have a representative for the semi-final and definitely a representative for Lagos. Someone says that girl from Royal Academy by name Nifemi did fantastically well. Although lost out, even with high mark above 40, she will score 10-10 in diction, I can assure you. Well done to you, Lily from Crudo. I agree with you about her diction. I mean, the diction judge didn't even know. There was nothing.
3. She's got her 3.
Yeah.
If I remember.
Hold on
3.
to.
She had the highest when it came to diction.
Yes.
But I think the last day, nerves kicked in. When she came for her round of 32, she didn't have an opponent. Tunga Majo did not show up.
Yes.
So she was fire. And then the round of 16, she had an opponent who was very animated, very fiery. And I think he threw her off a little because her opening was brilliant. She became nervous when she got to the rebuttal and the closing because she kept repeating herself. And so the government would be like, you could see her literally shaking. And then the things she wrote down, one time her head was on what she scribbled because it just felt like, it was nerves. And I asked her after the debate, you're brilliant. Your points were amazing. You are very articulate. What happened? She's like, you know what? I just didn't know. I think it was a rebuttal part, listening to your opponent that time and, how do I take this person out on this one? That's where nerves betrayed her, seriously.
I think we have a lot of work to do for the sets that we're sending to Lagos when it comes to coaching on rebuttal.
Yeah.
Because it is such a key. I mean, every part is key, but if you can hold on the rebuttal. That's where a lot of them fall short.
I agree. I mean, when we were even looking at the wild card, Nifemi was a strong contender for the wild card. But I think her point was about the second highest for the people who were considering. There were a lot of factors that came in eventually that just knocked her out. If not, she was very strong on the table to bring back for our rebuttal. But it is what it is. She's what, 14? Hopefully, or 15 or 14?
13, I think.
13. So hopefully she'll be able to return for the next season. We'll be looking out for you, Nifemi from Royal Academy. I think she'll have been brilliant, but what's the guarantee that nerve will still not betray her? There were 2 sets of people who were thought had a good chance, but they were very nervous.
I'm trying to remember if the student from Olumao came close.
Miriam Chua also. I mean, the first of 32, she was like in the 50s.
Yes.
But then again, I mean, nearly. Never kills a bird.
Yeah. These ones who scaled through, you could see the consistency of their performance.
You have to come strong every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
So, Lily, we quite agree with you. Diction might, yes, but diction is strong, but there's a whole lot more because even her nervousness will cost her mark if she gets to Lagos and they find out that you're all nervous and you're repeating yourself, and you have to look at your paper to remember your next point. Your point is dropping as you're doing all of that. Let's see here. Notable initiative as we look forward to more. God bless Nigeria Info family. OJ from Nyanya Gwandara. Thank you very much. Area council chairman that don't pay their staff salaries. How can they support a program like this? Augusta from Gariki. Apparently they haven't paid Augusta. Don't provoke her.
Effizy, Kim, Somi, and other crew members. I want to tell you that FCT can boast of best schools in the country. That's the truth. Take it or leave it, but I'm telling you the fact. Their public schools are good. I know, you know the reason why their schools are good was because of what Erufai did when he was the FCT minister. When he was the FCT minister, he really built the school. He really built the school
Okay. Looks like the gentleman was a little distracted.
Yeah, apparently. So let's pause that because we're running out of time, but thank you very much. And then we see here that Charles says, good day, people. It was indeed a great time listening to the debates. I think we should try and step up our scoring scheme to match with that of Lagos so as to give our representative good footing at the national level. I wish the semi-finalists the very best. Charles, don't worry. It's not the scoring that will be the problem. Their performance is what matters. Whatever scoring template they use there would reflect their performance at the end of today. All right. So, guys, the semi-final next week, Monday, Tuesday, and the finale, the final on Friday. Any other word? Quickly.
I'm excited for next week.
Next week, we are back in the studio next week on Wednesday, basically, to talk.
Yeah, ahead of the final. We'll do a quick review
as
ahead
we look
of
forward
the final.
to Friday. But I mean, we're excited. We're looking forward to Monday and Tuesday.
So on behalf of all our partners and the judges and the team, would say thank you very, very much and hope that you stay with us for the rest of our programming. And I just realized I had not sent that mail to we thank you very much for tagging with us, and I trust that you would join us for the semi-final on Monday, on Tuesday, and the final on Friday. Thank you to all our sponsors, and thank you for being a part of it. We'll go off now and continue other conversations. Stay with 95.1 Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.